Hello friends, it's time to do something that I've been meaning to do for weeks now, probably even a month or so now. But it's time that I break out my trash can and I start throwing away some of these dead and dying plants. Most of them are dead and others are practically dead. And I'm just sick and tired of looking at them, so it's time to just finally rid myself of these negative emotions, vibes, feelings, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm finally ready to throw away some of these really sad and dead plants. Don't judge me. I know everybody kills plants. Some people kill plants more often than others. Exhibit A. You guys can relate to me in some way. It's time. Philodendron Campo, whatever you want to call them. Could probably salvage this, but I'm not going to. I just don't have the mental capacity to deal with this plant. I didn't really like it to begin with. That wasn't a good idea in hindsight. This little Hoya, think it's a Rebecca. She dead. Think this was a a Philodendron Dark Lord, but I'm not sure. She is definitely not very majestical right now. Who else is dead? My original Begonia Amphioxus is dead. Well, this is a mother plant. I still have cuttings of her, so have no fear. She still lives on with her children, but the mother has passed away. My Begonia chloristicta green form, also the mother plant. I also still have cuttings of this one in my little terrarium that I have over here. So she'll still live on, just as a baby. Mama's gotta go now. I'm considering throwing away this Syngonium Elbow. Like, it's clearly not dead because there's a new growth right there, but I'm really considering saying goodbye to it. I guess I'll let it live just a little while longer, but if this leaf doesn't make it, then I'm tossing it. I'm sick and tired of dealing with it, and once it gets so big, it just topples over. It doesn't get bushy at all, and it might be my fault. I don't know, I'm just tired of dealing with plants that make me unhappy. So if the new leaves come out, if this new leaf comes out, I'm gonna keep it. But if it doesn't, I'm trashing it for once and for all. I'm sick and tired dealing with this Hoya numeraloides. I had a really large plant of this. Every single time, this Hoya has just hated me and it won't grow. It's been living in this water vessel for a really long time. It's just nasty. I'm not very happy with this plant. I haven't been happy with this plant for a very long time. So I'm just going to part ways with it. I know I could probably give it to somebody for free or trade somebody for it, but I don't want to deal with it. So it is what it is sometimes. And I'm sure you guys can relate to me. Whenever you're done with something, you're done. You don't want to just keep dealing with it. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Ripsalis. I think it's supposed to be his Ripsalis red form. I don't know what happened to this guy, but he's gotten very upset with me. Obviously, you know, I might keep him a little bit longer. This is some brand new growth. He's just not looking the best. I might just trim him up a bit and trim off the sad leaves that are on him. He's gonna live another day. Finally, gonna get rid of one plant that has made me very angry for a very long time. That is this Hoya Australis. You can tell that she is not very happy. I haven't watered her and I don't know how long, just because I've been very angry at her and I'm just wanting her to die at this point. I still have pieces of her in my, almost said windshield, but in my window blinds. I'm going to remove those as well because I don't want you lingering around any longer than you have. It's time to go. And now I am finally getting rid of what remains of my Philodendron Brantianum. I gave a ton of wet sticks of this to my friend Kelly, who's a member of my channel, so I hope that she has a good time with them, because if anybody has ever owned that plant, they know that that has to have like 100% humidity in order for those leaves to unravel. Otherwise they just like get teeny tiny and they start unraveling like halfway and they rot the other half. This was just a nightmarish plant. Like, it was pretty to me, but it was also a nightmare to deal with. And if anybody says that they're an easy plant, they're lying. They're lying! Alright, I think that's all the deaths we have in this room. Let's continue on, shall we? I almost forgot about one really big one right there. This one's actually bittersweet to me because I had this plant for a really long time and I put it in this Wally Grow pot. It was outside for a really long time, very low maintenance plant. This is a Scindapsus argyrius, and obviously it did not like the change of coming inside. But there are some like really good vines. Like I'm gonna probably cut this one off and propagate it, as well as another one or two, just because I've had it for so long and I actually really like this plant. It's just unfortunate that it has died. And I think I might have missed a watering on it, and that's why I got so upset. But like I said, I really do like this plant, and I'm actually kind of sad that it's doing as badly as it is. Okay, change of scenery because we're downstairs. I went into my other rooms that are upstairs, and thankfully I didn't find too many casualties, but I did find 2 cacti, this dude who looks absolutely disgusting, and this variegated opuntia, I do believe, who is also disgusting. Now I'm really sad about this one because I held on to this baby for a really long time, just hoping and praying that it would somehow or another, by the grace of God, resurrect itself from the dead. And I'm finally throwing away that elbow that I got a while back from a Variegata 777 on Instagram. This is what it looks like now. It's like a dried up little twig. It got completely rotted all the way up to here, and it was mushy, and this is what it's left. It really stuck around for a long time. Like the leaf was green for a long time, like it's still very green. So I tried to hang in there and just hope for a miracle, but unfortunately it just did not make it on that really underdeveloped node. So, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. You win some, you lose some, but unfortunately we lost one today. I'm still going to just like hang on to this little nubbing like it's like nothing hardly at all. I'm gonna hang on to it just because I would love to salvage what I can of the plant, especially because I spent a crap ton of money on it, and it was like the most beautiful plant that I had ever received, other than my El Chaco Red. That was like the second plant that I was the most excited to ever purchase. But it is what it is. I have 2 other elbows. One that both of them that I traded for. So if you're looking for an elbow, just try and trade with people. So that one's a hard one that I gotta throw away. But there are more casualties down here, fear not. So I have not 1 peace lily, but 2 peace lilies that are just absolutely dead. And these were my variegated peace lilies. I can't remember which one it was. I think I got this one on Etsy for like 30 bucks, and then like a week or 2 later, I went to a market and I got this giant one for like $10 or $15. But they were both so beautiful. I loved them so much, but I just can't stand how much you have to water them. I mean, they're easy care, they're easy upkeep for the most part. You just have to water them. And for a while I had one of those orbs that have the tube that you just stick it in there, and it's supposed to like keep the soil nice and damp for you, like the little air bubbles. I used to keep those in them all the time, but it was just like I'd have to fill them up and then shove them into the soil. I couldn't just shove them back into the exact same spot every single time because it wouldn't stay up. The soil wouldn't like support it to stay up. So I was putting it in different spots throughout the pot, and I felt like I was tearing up the roots sometimes when I was shoving it in there, and it just looked bad. My soil had holes all in it. I don't know, I don't think that it's a good system. Like, it's a good system in theory, but for a longevity, like maybe that's a good thing to do whenever you're going on vacation and you can't get a plant sitter or anything like that, and you have a peace lily that you just love or a plant that you just really love that is a thirsty beach, that would probably work great for you. But I don't think it's a long-term realistic watering care device, at least in my opinion. You might swear by them, but they don't work for me. All right, and the last two deaths that we have are some string of hearts propagations that I had doing really well, and I decided to convert them to soil, and then I think I forgot to water them, and now they're all dried up and dead. And then I have a Hoya. I don't remember what kind of Hoya it was. It was a Hoya that I wasn't really familiar with to begin with, but I just thought that it looked pretty nice. It was like 30 bucks, and a friend was selling it, so I was like, you know, two birds, one stone. It's cool Hoya, support a friend. But I killed it. It never grew for me. It originally had 2 leaves and a really long vine, and something happened to the vine like whenever I first got it, it kind of like snapped or something in shipping, but that was fine because Hoyas grow more vines anyway. But it just never regrew. It never did anything. Even whenever I was taking really, really good care of it, it just never grew for me. Well, that is the plant funeral for 2021. Hopefully I don't have any more casualties. I have some casualties outside, but that's like outside, and that's a lot. Might save that for my members. But yeah, that's going to be all the plants that I have inside that are dead. Some of them are really hard to deal with, and some of them I just didn't even care about. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you killing your plants right now too? Do you have some plants that you've murdered? Because I know I have, and I just showed you all of them. But anyway, I hope that you know, this video was somewhat relatable and makes you feel good for taking care of all your plants while mine are dying. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. See you next time. What am I doing? What am I even doing? Who do I think I am? Bye.
You as you dry, do you know